Hi there, I am the Logical Lotto Cracker. Thank you for joining and welcome. I would like to give a quick disclaimer. None of the information in here is going to guarantee that you're going to win the lottery. That being said, I've got a new script, and take a look at what we're doing. You can see that we're going to remove any number set that has a gap that's greater than 28 spaces, okay? So we've got our exclude file and our include file. We're in our test environment. We're using test. So we need to test for the 99 percentile, right? So then once the script starts running, it does the usual thing where you have a while loop, right? And the while loop is going to use the input file that's defined down here in the bottom. The production input file is commented out, of course. And the testing input file is that test file that we created that only has 1,000 sets of past winning numbers. So it's real data that has actually won. So now this is going to go through that file, and as long as there's another line, it's just going to keep going until there's no more lines to process. And it's going to clear out our variables first. Then we're actually going to subtract the 0, which is the first number from the array, from the second number, so we can find out what the gap is between the numbers. And then we say, okay, that's diff 1, 2, the difference between the first and the second. Then we do the same thing for the second and the third and the fourth, and the fourth and the fifth, and that way we have all of the gaps between all the numbers, and they're known because there's 4 gaps. We're not measuring the gap at the beginning, and we're not measuring the gap at the end. So that may leave room for some future analysis. Maybe there's something we can do with that. But at this point in time, we're measuring the gaps in between the numbers, and we're saying if there's any one gap out of those 4 gaps that is greater than 28, we don't think that gap that's greater than 28 is really going to win, because it's just too far off the spectrum of what's valid. So let's take a look at that. We're going to test that now. If it is greater than 28, we move it to the exclude file, and if it's not, we put it into the include file, okay? So if it's less than 28, in other words, it's good, okay? So now we're going to test our script. It's already an executable file and has the execute permissions, so I'm executing the script and the debugging is enabled. We can see the output of the script. It looks good. There's no errors during the run, so the test is good. And so now we can let this run. It shouldn't take too long. It's doing math, so it's going to take a little bit longer than some of the other scripts that don't do math. There we go, it's done. So we're going to go to our data file now, and we're going to check and see what the output looks like. So here's the, we want to go to the exclude first. So now we're in the directory for the data exclusions. And if we take a look at that file, the file size is pretty small. So this should be pretty close to what we want. So cat this, see what's in here. Okay, we've only got 2 results set, so that means that that's 99.8 percentile, and I think that's good. I think we're going to go with the number 28. A gap that's greater than 28 is going to be excluded, and a gap that's smaller than 28 is going to be included. Every 1,000 draws, we might miss 2 draws. Just for clarification, so if we go to the include file, and we do a word count on the number of result sets that are in here, it's 998. So obviously, because there's 2 here, and there were 1,000 from the source sample, then obviously there's 998 here. And that's where we get our 99.8 percentile. So now we're going to move this to production. And we need to make sure that we update the input file so it has the proper name. So it's using the include file, which was our second run, and it has already eliminated the numbers from the previous scripts that we ran that eliminated the numbers that we mathematically have excluded from our result set. So I'm going to kick off this script. So here are some of the numbers that it's excluding. So it's saying, you know what? There's a gap right here that's greater than 28. These numbers probably aren't going to come in. So we're going to let that script run. So thank you, everyone. If you've enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe. I'm really grateful for you being here. I think it's a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy it too. And please comment below if you have any questions. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Best wishes.